Hi, folks. Scott Jeffy here. This week, I've finally had a chance to dig into the latest data from National Student Clearinghouse. The data that I've been really interested in particularly in the last 3 years, is the data that offers us insights into the age range in trends at the undergraduate level. This takes me back to my roots, where I started in the 90s with Carolus Lanians, but it has come back in a major way over the last couple of years as institutions try to understand how to get their share of the some college, no credential, no degree population. And my research over the last 25 years indicates that those two audiences are the same thing. Why do I say that? Because from 1996 all the way through, every time I have done a study of any non-traditional undergraduate population, meaning not 18-year-olds, we find that a minimum of 85% of these students bring credit with them, and as much as 95% given the region or the study that I'm doing. So let's start with the fact that 2011 was the peak for 25 plus undergrads. After that, there was continuous decline for a decade, but then something interesting started to happen. And let's look at that. This chart shows the end of that decline, but in 2022 to 2023, we start to see an uptick in the 25 plus in actually all the audiences that might even be remotely construed as being not the traditional undergrad. So that first year, we saw some nice growth. Between 23 and 24, we saw as much as 10.2% growth. That's a lot of students. And the last segments of these charts is the brand new data that show us that these audiences have again continued their upward trend. I love percents, but I like numbers even more. And so let's look at what that means in real numbers. What that means in that first year of growth, this is one of these charts I love to do, which is net new. It's where I take the last number, look at the new number, and calculate how many more there are. That first year, we added not more than 96,000 25 plus. The second year, we added 314,000 more. And this year that we're just finishing up now, I'm sorry, this semester that we're just finishing up more, we had 129,000 more. On the right-hand side, we see that adds up to an additional 540,000 undergrads, 25 plus. And so we need to understand where they're going, because every institution seems to want to get a piece of that pie. Again, from the National Student Clearinghouse data, what we see here is when we look at these bars show community colleges, four-year publics, and four-year privates, and then the gray is the total. All of those subsectors are adding to their 25 plus audiences. There's only one place where they weren't. In the fall 2025, I see that private nonprofits had some negative, but this does not mean that growth is spreading equally across all institutions. And right here, we have the 10 largest from 2011 on the left, the 10 largest from 2023 on the right. And what we see is 5 institutions maintained their status in the top 10 serving institutions by volume. 5 new ones that will surprise no one have absolutely captured the market. Southern New Hampshire, Western Governors, Grand Canyon has moved up. University of Maryland has moved up in terms of the numbers they're serving. Almost all of those top 10 from 2011 have actually grown this returning student or adult student and undergrad enrollment. But what's really important is that if we look at this visualization, let me pause and say there are more institutions serving 25 plus returning students in 2023 than there were in 2011. But what has really happened is that top 10 institutions have captured twice as many of that population as they did in 2011. So it's concentrated at the top. And the takeaway for me here is that if you want to get your share of the returning audience, you're going to have to really understand what those top 10 institutions are doing. And I'm sorry to say, for some institutions that are resistant to it, but it is online, online, online for these students. Not necessarily in every case a fully online program, but partially online program, fully online delivered services, wraparound services, and so on. All the things that I've been saying in video after video. So it really is a case where you're going to have to emulate, because let me leave you with this. Adult students always want to go locally, but particularly post-pandemic, where everyone learned to do everything digital or virtually, they want to go locally, but they will go afar, and they are completely comfortable doing so. And institutions that don't believe that, or think that they can offer something so unique that students will show up for them, I hate to say it, but that is probably not a winning strategy. I hope this helps. I don't want to be negative, but so let me know what you think of this. Read the blog that is associated with this, and I'd love to hear your feedback on it. Thanks so much, and have a good week. Have a good week or a good weekend. Bye bye.